Welcome to the CWL Finals here in Miami, Florida. We have two events in one. CWL Playoffs, where we'll crown our Pro League champions for this season, and the final Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Open Bracket of the season, where the top 16 teams will qualify for CWL champs. I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined by Nameless, Study, and Pac-Man here on the desk for the next 3 days. There's a lot on the line for a lot of teams and no room for error. I am so excited for you guys to be back at finals. Of course, you guys were in finals before. Like, what is it like to be here and watch these players and know how they're feeling right now?
I mean, it's just a massive tournament, right? Like, there's a lot of money on the line, and your entire season adds up to this moment, right? Like, you have to show up here and show that you're a player that can play at a big-time tournament. So I'm very excited to see these teams play. Do or die situation for some of these teams as well.
That is very true.
We're coming out the gate with bangers, like
Bangers.
6 Evil Geniuses, Luminosity units. Like, Luminosity,
Every match matters.
everyone thinks
Every
match
match
is going to win the tournament, but they have a hump to get over right away. Unit's a really good team.
Yeah, that is true. Now, we do have a little more to talk about with our Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Open Bracket, and to explain everything that is going on there and what it means, we're going to send it over to Jess.
What's up, guys? Jess here in the final Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Open Bracket of the Black Ops 4 season. And this event is pretty cool because 16 teams from this event will be joining 16 pro teams in LA at Champs next month. Now, you should be looking out for some of your favorite teams, such as Tommy's team, Mazer Gaming, and Mindfreak. Now, we will be bringing you the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Open Bracket Finals on Sunday morning on the Alpha stream. But until then, I will be bringing you all the action. We're now back on over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you so much, Jess. And again, it all leads to champs at the end of this season. To round things out, you can see their tickets are available. Going back to LA, UCLA should be a wonderful time to get your tickets. Come join us. You will not want to miss it. But first, we need to, of course, talk about playoffs. That's why we are here. And Nameless, you said it best, too. This is a culmination for a lot of these teams. I mean, they've gone through all of the Pro League in Columbus, Ohio, and now they're here, and it's do or die.
I mean, it's been a very long season, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of matches have been played in Columbus, Ohio. A lot of roster changes have went down, and these guys have finally formed their rosters they're going to have at the last two tournaments. So, you know, this is it, right? Like, these last two tournaments, playoffs and champs, you have your final roster, the practice is there. It's time to show up, right? So I'm very excited to see these guys get going.
This is when we see the most drastic improvement, too, because when you at that time when you know you can't make a roster change, there's no excuses to be made. Now you just have to grind together with your teammates and figure it out. All the specialist changes are done. Everything, like, set in the books. It's just time to shine.
I mean, yeah, these guys have practically had no lives the last 3 weeks. You know, they sit at home playing all day long, 3-4 scrims a day, 2 10 series at night. Like, this is their dream, and they can achieve it this weekend.
And for some of these teams, the bottom 8 teams in the respective divisions A and B, it is going to start in this play-in bracket. It is single elimination. They could be out here on Friday.
I don't want to be.
There is no second chance for these teams. And again, the top 2 from here will make it out into the winner's bracket, but they got to get through this first.
This is going to be so hard. Just one and done matches. If you go to a game 5, everything is on the line in that game 5. It adds so much pressure in these matches. Hopefully, they're able to lay it out and play the way that they want to and not be bad with the way that they perform.
You can't have slow starts.
Yeah, absolutely not.
We had one of those, remember, Study? Back in Ghost, we had a one and done match, game 5.
Yeah.
If we lost that, we were out of the tournament.
But we had double digits, man, yeah.
Your heart is beating so fast when you're in that last map. Like, you don't even know what you're doing. You're just making plays.
Huge.
You don't even realize.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's when that killer instinct kicks in, man. It's terrifying, but it's fantastic at the same time.
Yeah, now the adrenaline will be high most of the day, but you can see it. At the end of the day, we're going to have some lighthearted fun. The All-Star match in Miami presented by TCL. It's going to be Division A versus Division B at 8 p.m. Eastern, and the teams have been picked by Twitter and our wonderful analysts. Again, 5 maps of 5v5 S&D, and I believe you guys have been in All-Star matches before. How'd those go for you guys?
I was in the All-Star match back in Black Ops 3. I remember I played that All-Star match with shades on. It was just easy, you know. I was just running around sniping everybody. It was one hell of a time. It was amazing.
It's just a nice, you know, chance to just take a load off a little bit after a long day watching games and stuff. They can give these guys who have performed all season long a chance to have some fun in front of the fans and show out a little bit.
Now the CWL finals in Miami are about to get started. It's time to watch some Call of Duty.
Here we go! It is time to kick things off. Oh, dearie me! It's absolute chaos! And the young Bucks Jehovah's Witness! 5 seconds needed. Can 100 Thieves do it? And that's back to back. We are live from Miami, and Joe, it's money season now, buddy. Over the next month, there is $3.2 million on the line. I remember we've had years, hell, back when the COD World League started, it was $3 million for the entire year, for every tournament. This in Champs, it all comes down to this. And this play-in bracket is gonna be nuts, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, we heard the Des talk about it, right? These are the sort of situations that you prepare for, but it's single and limb, it's do or die, right? You're picking Luminosity, who you think's gonna win this whole event, to be off the stage in 45 minutes and headed home, right? Like, so there's a lot of pressure on these guys, but they should be some great matches.
And it's interesting, we've been talking about the change in the format to get here, right? In the past, just the top 8 teams got into playoffs. But this time, a team like Luminosity really stands out as a team that this new format pays off for. Like, their year was a dumpster fire outside of their tournament win. Like, things really went off the rails. They played so poorly. But now they have a team that looks like it's built to make a run. And due to the new format, they've got a chance. But these squads played each other in crossplay very recently. It was all LG. It was a 3-0 in dominating fashion. The question is, can they do it again?
Yeah, that is the question. We will see 2 of these maps, Frequency, Hardpoint, Hacienda, but that's maps 4 and 5 in this series.
We gotta get there.
Do we have to get there? Yeah, so LG, I think they're the clear favorite, but you talked about this format and how it really does help Luminosity, but I think it helps Units as well, because these are 3 young guys on this team who, they weren't in the Pro League, right? Like, their hard work, it starts right now, and for Joe and Rated, a couple of veteran guys who have been in grand finals, you know they can do it, and that's what's scary.
A question for you, and you mentioned the word scary. When you and I saw this matchup pop up, and I had picked LG to win, this matchup in particular terrified me. For LG fans, why is that?
I think it's because of the veterans in Joe and Rated. It just feels like their teams, they always have great teamwork, and it's not anything like stats-wise that they're crazy, but they always compete, they're competitive, and when they clutch up in those moments, that is when they go on those deep runs. I mean, just looking at when they were at crossplay, Nolson was the only one on this roster with a 1.0. Everybody else was below them. Now, their best game mode was Hardpoint. They were 5-2. Everywhere else was pretty bad, but you expect that with a new roster in Search and Destroy. If they can improve in Search, this could be a hell of a series.
So is the key to victory, at least looking at map 1 for Units, to just keep it scrappy? Like, maybe you get outslayed by 20, 30 kills, but you keep it scrappy and you clutch up in the final moments.
Yeah, I mean, put the pressure on Luminosity, right? Make this a tough game. Make them sweat, because LG, they look damn good in their week, right? They go 3-1. Skies and Brack absolutely fried that week. Like, those two put up insane numbers, and now that was the big question mark was, okay, you're gonna have young kids, these young guys, on a very difficult situation.
Exactly, like they've never played on a championship Sunday, right? Like, there is a lot of pressure on them. Is that the most worrisome point for you with LG?
I think so. I think so, but I think on the other side of it is John and Slacked, and what I mean is we just haven't seen the performance out of them that we've wanted. However, we didn't see these guys with the SOG buff, and I really think that's going to be one of the crucial points of this tournament is that SOG buff. How is it going to play out? There are teams that are very AR heavy, Luminosity, Units, maybe a little bit more SOG oriented. Can you win those maps against one another? Could be the story of the weekend.
From stuff you've been hearing from maybe the boot camp that went down or other teams' scrims, how big of a difference do you think the SOG is going to be? Is it going to be like a particular hard point, or is it going to have a much bigger play in this tournament?
I think we'll see. I think it's still developing, right? I think teams are still testing. Can we run 3 SOGs? Will it work? And, well, here we go. Seaside hard point started up.
LG, Units, do or die. It is single elimination. 1 best of 5 between these 2 teams will decide it, and if they can move on and try and fight for that top 2 to get into the playoff bracket. So far, the early time to LG as they lock down the opening hard point, but now Cammy and Rated trying to find that break through the mid steps.
Yeah, and remember, when we watched Units, this was really the only bright spot through their week. They were 5-2 in their cross-divisional play. This was the only mode they were competitive in. I mean, Search and Destroy was just not good at all. So Units, a young team, yes, but they still know how to play hardpoint with the best teams in the world.
We're seeing the new look SOG in the hands of Nolson right now. What can he get done at side church? They got the early rotation. 4 players stacked towards Church in the back steps. That number 7, the lone man, kind of watching that barrels push as the push now comes in from Luminosity. Will they trade effectively? So far they go 2 for 2. LG, a big gunfight win there from Brack. He gets a 2-piece. Skies wins the 1-on-1 in barrels, and just like that, LG get in. It's just too easy.
Yeah, and already look at that minimap. You can see number 4, Skies, is set up not only for this hill, but for the next one as well. He's playing with 45 seconds. They want to rotate to that fountain hill. And yes, Cammy rated. They do find a couple of kills. They break on in, but now Joe's trying to make a move up the map. Might be able to catch Brack off guard. The hill still back and forth, and Joe might have done it. He might have made the play, but instead he's going to try to help his teammates. His 3 kills go down. As soon as this happens, he's going to fly. So Units, a great job getting back in, but now here's the big fight on rotation.
The grapple helps Joe get to the back first, but look at the flood coming in. It's a 5-man push from Luminosity, 4 through the back steps now. How much work can Joe get done? He's been caught, already hit the 69 HP. The flood comes in, able to get the kill, but rated there in transition. He will fall as well. Skies with 2 big ones in the back, but Cammy doing everything he can to make it interesting, but as he falls, spawning out his units, the opening moments to LG at Statue, but we've got ourselves a tie game right now, 47 apiece.
Yeah, Units able to fight their way on back, but on that rotation, LG, they held strong. Slack now on a bit of a 5 spree. He's 300 off of streaks, 11-3 start for him. We talked about the SOG buff, and really the SOGs of LG have struggled all year long, and now there's no excuses.
Except for leading into their tournament win. Like, Slack was maybe their best player in that stretch in the Pro League before they went in. Like, he was playing so well. You gotta think, if Slack is playing strong, you gotta love their chances to at least get into the playoff.
Yeah. Yes, you do. But now LG, they have a bit of a 35-point lead with 15 seconds left, and Units have given up this hill. Starting to rotate on over towards barrels, but John's able to find Wee Man, and behind that cluster, here comes the push as John finds the second.
John Brack, formal, the flood through, no kills for Units. 4 are going to drop. They get spawned out at all. A bit of a split spawn right now for Units. Is some at backside Church, some towards the last hard point. Slack going off yet again as he gets out to 13-4. Sky's almost caught getting a trophy out, but able to at least stay up for now. This is a moment for Luminosity to really start to run away with this game. I know on this map, no lead is safe, but they can get to dangerous territory with a nice hold here at barrels.
Yeah, Units tried going for a bit of a split push, but he gets shut down on the side of Church. Joe, he's the last man standing, now just trying to wait, but Skies is here cutting off the reinforcements. He's able to find 1 on a Cammy, and now what? That's 3 hills in a row for Luminosity, where they've just been so darn good. The specialists are starting to load in that they can use those going back into that first hill.
Everybody ends up dropping. Units are able to get in, but not going to be a ton of time there. Really just the final 15 of garbage time onto barrel. So the rotation fight should go to LG on the other side. They've already picked up the first player and Cammy in rotation. 1 more player is going to be in. The rest of the players trying to rotate in or spawn out backside Church. Slacked here with the grab slam. Luminosity, 3 openings to hard points in a row. As they begin to run away with this game, Slack slam comes on through. 2 will fall. Joe trying to make the play through mid-steps, though, for Units.
Yeah, Slackto just trying to hang on. Units actually respond really well. Slackto was able to find 2, but when he uses that slam, 2 of his teammates get taken down. And from there, Units, they're able to stabilize. They're finding a couple kills as well. And they, if they get this hill, they're right back in the game. They'd only be down 30. But here comes Luminosity one more time. Joe, 95 off of streaks, able to find the lightning, had some help. So now you have a lightning strike to work with, and this is what we talk about with Seaside. Yeah, it just feels like there's always a chance to come back into it.
Well, and that's props to Units. I mean, it's gotten scary a couple times, but they've done just enough to keep it close, right? They've kept themselves in the hunt. The 75-point disadvantage would look a lot scarier on some of the other maps. We'll see when Joe's streak comes into play. I thought the TAC 5 was going to keep him alive, but the TAC 5 comes in on the side of Luminosity as well. With that number 5 on the minimap, that's going to be Brack trying to find an opening as he's in the midst of the chaos. That is the Unit side. Nice little shot melee, but he'll get swarmed. But that does force 2 players to focus on barrel side. Maybe an opening on the other end for LG to break on through, and it looks like they've done just that. 4 go down for Units, 5 down for Units. Formal 145 off streaks as he's now come alive at 10 and 9, and LG get early control.
Well, the biggest play is, does Joe use the lightning? Yeah, so that break, it just forces the lightning strike to come out from Joe. You're not able to use that at the Fountain Hill if you have to rotate or you have to break that hill. So a great job from Luminosity, not only to break that early setup, which they've done all game long, but to force the streak out early.
Yeah, and the streak catches Formal, who just popped his War Machine as well. So it ends up being a crucial kill, but kind of a minor win on either side when you think about it. The lead still sitting around 70 points for Luminosity as Units still trying to battle in. Statue was dominated last time for LG. John has this lightning to use, so we just saw an effective lightning out of Joe. Can we see a similar play out of John and the Luminosity side? Just waiting for his teammates to start to push up into the layer, the map, and then you expect it to come in. Here's the lightning call. You'll watch those purple arrows now try to scramble. It'll force them into tough spots, and it'll get 2 kills. Nolson and Joe are gonna drop. The flood comes in. The spawn is out. What a great break from Luminosity. They've had several in this opening map 1.
And again, there is no chance for units to get back into it because they don't have a lightning strike. Weeman is gonna use the Tempest. Is able to connect on one, snaps on the skies as well, and well, with 25 seconds left, they are able to get on through. You had such early specialists out of Luminosity. Now units starting to load on in. He does get taken out, and you still have presence here. John doing a wonderful job right now, just making it so hectic for units.
But his teammates aren't going to send any bodies to help. They're just going to hold it barrel, so John's eventually going to fall. He affected the spawns of units, but wasn't able to contest or really interrupt any of that time accrual. The lead now down to 60. Units slowly have tried to chip away at this, but haven't made a ton of progress. This hardpoint's everything. They have got to get a stronghold in barrels. They've got to bring it back. They've got Purifier, Grab, War Machine to work with. A lot of the heavy hitters for units have loaded on up.
I mean, you just saw Brack use his Purifier, and it was instantly traded. This is exactly where you want the Purifier, inside this barrel hill. And that was a wonderful job by units to shut that down. And now, yeah, this is what I was talking about. The momentum has now shifted for units because they have so many specialists to play with. You saw the War Machine was popped. Now you see the Purifier popped as well. They're going all in for this hill. Will it pay on off? It's not looking like it is. LG, they break again. That has been the story of this game.
And that's going to be, what, a 50-point swing? There are about 25 seconds remaining. What could have been, what, a tie game is going to end up being about that 70-point advantage again as John hits the finesse. John has pushed out the 20 and 13. We talked about Slack's great start. John was like 2 and 5 when Slack was 11 and 3. John has erupted over this game, and you've got to love to see the stats on a map like Seaside with the 2 Sogs really carrying the load from Luminosity as they've hopped over that 200-point mark, but now they've got to break into the first hard point in our 3rd set of rotations.
Well, I mean, that's just been the story for Luminosity, right? Everybody else, it was Formal and Gunless. That duo did so much work. Now it's been Skies and Brack. But I mean, if you can get everyone to step on up, now have that complete roster that we know what this can be, yeah, maybe your call to win may not be too crazy, but they still have to close out map number 1.
I don't know how Brack came up with that one there, but he was so good in the Pro League, putting on a clinic here in map 1. The next flood in from units, but they've got to get a break. There's still 25 seconds you can earn here. They try to get in the grab slam, but Brack finds another kill. That's going to be 2 in a row for him, and a big one on the backside of this hard point. Brack keeps it going. LG keep running it up. 2:30 now, but 20 more points needed to close out this map 1.
And again, if you look at the top right, units is just being outslayed so heavily. But there's been so many opportunities throughout it where units have been in
This is exactly how I thought this would go. Yeah, they would get smoked, but maybe be able to take it.
They've been in positions on rotation where they've won rotation, and then they're just broken way too easily. The individual talent right now of Luminosity is just shining through.
Luminosity not quite out of the woods yet. They still need these final 10 points. Still a bloodbath towards the hard point. LG gonna get in. The final seconds ticking away as Slack uses his 2nd grab slam to back steps, spawning out his units. Not gonna get there in time. Map 1 to Luminosity. But that is, when people ask me why I was scared of this particular matchup, like I tweeted it a couple times, talked about it on various shows. Like, I thought units would get outslayed by 20 to 30. But they could somehow still take it. I think you saw exactly like that. There were a couple hard points where they could have got it done. Well, you think about the final 25 seconds of barrels where LG was able to break through, the break behind the lightning strike and found. Like, there were moments where if units held, they could have taken that map without question.
Yeah, they had a lot of chances to do so. But, I mean, we talked about the young players on the side of Luminosity. There's 3 very young players on units, right? So that pressure may be getting to them. But Luminosity, I think you feel good, right? That first map. Obviously, you can calm down a little bit. Obviously, a lot of nerves going into this matchup for the play-in bracket. They want to get to the playoff bracket. They just have to take it 1 map at a time.
Well, so far, so good for LG, but now we're going to transition over to Bravo and check out the action going on there. Elevate up 1-0. We're into map 2. And Elevate, all right, Midnight had a great week, but I think Elevate also performed, I know they didn't get a lot of wins, but they performed a lot better than you expected them to. Like, they should have won the series versus Optic. They played people tough when you didn't think they would. I think for most people, this series might have been more of a coin flip than a lot would have thought.
Yeah, I think a lot of people favor Midnight, but like you said, Elevate impressed. They were always competitive, but really they have been. Like guys like Profizi throughout this year, he's been on a couple of teams where it just felt like they were on the way to hitting the next level, but then they go through a couple of roster changes.
And think about Midnight, you were what? Oh, E6 maybe missing Frosty at times as he hits a snipe there.
Well, maybe this Frosty, because, I mean, we saw what he did that 1 week. Really his best performance throughout this season.
And you think about Midnight, man, they were what? A series away from being in the playoff bracket. Not even have to worry about this. They had that late battle with, what was it, Reciprocity that they were kind of fighting with to get in. Weren't able to do it. Reciprocity clutched up, and now Midnight find themselves in this tough single-limb play-in bracket. We'll see if Midnight can clutch the 3 versus 4. Big win from Llama, but should be traded out instantly. It is from top window. Now it's all on Frosty and Zaptius here to pull off the clutch on the defensive end.
Yeah, he's a player right behind Frosty, believe. I think it takes a little extra bullets than he would like, but now it's all on his Zaptius. 1 versus 3. He finds the first one in the Whalers now. He knows he has to check the bomb, but he's going to actually check it with a stun. He's not going to hit anything. Oh, I think he doesn't have to slide out there. His stun doesn't connect. He can wait for that to pop. Instead slides out, is able to find 1, but Elevate, they just play together.
That'll be a nice, 4v5 clutch from Elevate after the first pick from Frosty. Such a huge map in the scheme of this. It's like, I know, at a tournament like this, every map is huge, but it just feels like when it's single limb, it's that much scarier.
And the winner of the LG Unit Series will play the winner of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people thought the top side was the tough one, right? You had E6, EG, Envy, and UYU. Yeah, so you had 3 of the maybe 4 favorites to come out of this really lumped up on that top side. We'll see what Elevate can now do from the offensive end. Lacefield, he's been making plays all year in Search and Destroy. He's hopped from team to team. Now playing against the old squad. See if he can line it up with the Paladin.
I feel like he always finds himself in these sort of grudge matches, right? We heard like there was a lot of problems between him and Parasite on that last Midnight roster, and what do you know, in winners round, or in round 1 of the play-in bracket, they match up against one another, and he's a guy when it just feels like when he plays with an extra bit of emotion, he is so hard to stop.
Started out 0-2 in this Search and Destroy, still looking to find his opening or chance to make a presence. Cluster Grenade is here. That's going to split the push. Royalty knows he has a one-on-one, but Profizi able to slide back through the cluster and somehow just barely get away with his life. Swapped the Frosty's POV in the backline with the Paladin for just a moment, but time is starting to dwindle. There's only 30 seconds left. That burst almost finishes the kill. Can they bait him in to the player sitting in the corner? It's Lacefield that's there. Lacefield actually does get both, so it gives them a chance in this round. But just so little time to work with. They've got to track back for bomb and make a play, and you've got both sites now covered. Lacefield's teammate in Whalers is going to fall, and he's in a predicament. There's the wall bang from the ICR. Nothing Lacefield can do. But let's get right back over to Alpha. We'll try to keep you up to date with what's going down on Bravo, but you can check that out at twitch.tv/Call of Duty Bravo. But back onto the main stage we go. LG leading 1-0. If you're just tuning in, maybe missed that first map. For the most part, controlled by LG. There were chances for units, but LG held on to like a 50 to 70 point advantage throughout most of the game.
And the big talking point for units was their Search and Destroy was very poor. 1-5 record throughout that first cross-divisional Pro League week. Again, a new team, a new roster. You expect them to struggle in Search and Destroy. But if you want to win a series against such a strong respawn team like Luminosity, you have to extend it. You have to win those searches. Try to get this to a Game 5. Again, put that pressure on Luminosity.
In LG, I think a lot of us were impressed with their Search and Destroy. When you talk about the crossplay, they looked really strong across a lot of the maps that we saw, but a different beast, obviously, here at the CWL Finals. Formal goes for the pick. Nolson gets the better of him. Nice first blood there from units. I think that's a battle we're likely going to see over the course of this map, too.
Yeah, we saw Nolson, a very solid sniper when he was a sub on Splice, right? Especially on Arsenal. Search and Destroy had a couple of really big games. So, yeah, Formal is going to have his work cut out for him.
LG just starting to push up the map, look for an opening. As units continue to play it passively. You're spread pretty thin right now if you're LG. You've got 1 towards B, 1 towards A, and 2 holding the central lab. Someone's going to have to win a big one-on-one. I think John gets close, but Cammy able to take him out. Now 5v3 for units. Slack does get a kill towards A. He's got sight control there. The call will come in. Can they pick up Joe? They've got to pick up Joe. Slack gets the information. He's got a Sog at this range. Easy pickings for him. Doesn't take a bullet of damage. The rotation comes in the back from Weeman as he takes his one-on-one, and now it all falls to Brack with 15 seconds left. Not really much of a prayer there as Unit's able to close it up, and it all started behind that first blood from Nolson.
Yeah, it starts with that, but then as you talked about it, John was trying to find a pick, I think, towards that B site, right, on the Cammy. I think he's hoping that Cammy's playing on an island. If he can win that one-on-one, he can force the rotation. They can rotate the bomb on over.
Well, that's what it looked like. They held 2 in lab. They were waiting for either Slack or John to win their one-on-one. Once one of them won, they were to go. The problem is Slack took his gunfight after John already fell, so it made it a little bit more difficult. Then Joe able to clutch up there inside of vents as the rotation came in from lab. So nice read from Joe. Good win from Units.
Yeah, and you saw what Joe was trying to do, right? He's just peeking the corner, and then he was going to slide into that gunfight, right? When you're crouched into that vent, the player sliding into it probably has the advantage. Joe
probably not, 100% has the advantage. That's been a big talking point across titles. Like, some titles, holding cover or holding the angle helps you out. Some, you're getting smoked. This title, you're getting smoked. See if Nolson can get another first blood to his name.
I mean, you have a stack here from Luminosity towards that B side while bomb planted. John is inside vents, but he didn't want to peek out because he had no help backstairs. The rotation from Skies and Formal was actually towards that B site. Brack, though, able to find the one on the flank, but it's rated with a nade to make this a 4 versus 4.
That's a huge one there from John. Should get traded out. Well, him, Slack,
they're
all going to fall. They're all going to fall. Everyone gets cut down. Brack left in a seemingly unwinnable situation yet again. 1v3, bomb planted, some 20 seconds on the clock. They know he's in vent. Nothing he can do. Pushes out and gets dropped. Another round to Units.
You saw the reactionary play from Units. I mean, it was just go. As soon as they knew that Brack was on the flank, they pushed that 4 versus 4 right at the front. They weren't worried about it. They followed it behind Rated's nade. I'm pretty sure he got the guy backstairs. So you're just trying to get the guys outside of vents, behind the statue, and inside a lobby, and they took those gunfights.
Was there a misplay from LG there at all, or just?
I mean, you try to wait for Brack, but it's hard to wait for him when they're just running at you, right? Right? You're just caught off guard.
Yeah, you kind of take that first blood out of the equation, right? So make it a 4v4. Nolson, Paladin in hand yet again. Cluster to work with as well. LG need to start stringing some rounds together because Units are making it interesting. There's the revenge snipe as Formal answers the call. First blood LG. Bomb planted, now a 4-on-5 retake for Units. LG, they're all backing it up. John's already waiting inside of vents. Formal's got the sniper. I think he hits the slide, goes right over his head. The cluster check in, but Formal gets caught when it's nade out. Raiden gets a second behind it, and suddenly it's a 3v2. John's gonna fall as well. Everything unhinging now for LG. Slack wins a massive one-on-one. Brack trying to push forward, will get gunned. It's all on Slack. Weeman goes huge in 3 rounds in a row for Units. And that is back-to-back rounds for LG where you get the first blood and the round falls apart.
I mean, it just starts with that rated play, right? He gets aggressive, he catches Formal out with a cluster, able to gun a second as well. And when you find those first 2 players who are set up in the post-plant positions near the bomb, it's difficult for LG to have to peek it. They have to come out of their hiding spots. They have to come outside of vent. You see, I think it was Skies right there trying to work the flank. Weeman watching everything with the ICR. But once they have that position right at this middle pillar, LG has to check the bomb to defuse, right? Like, all of their position is gone, and now it's in favor of Units.
And that, I mean, that to me was just a timing thing. Like, Formal gets caught with the cluster.
And the snipe, right? Like the snipe,
the slide there?
Right under it.
Yeah, I think he probably felt the wind whiz past his forehead on that one. Weeman now, due to a couple big rounds and sitting at 6-1, is only 100 points off of streaks. Nolson goes for some high-flying action, doesn't really get close with the snipe, but makes his presence known. Joe maybe got great timing. Now he's been spotted. They have a 2-on-1 on this side of the map, but obviously LG not quite aware of that. John's just going to get out.
Yeah, Units playing this very slow. Once again, it seems this duo, Skies and Formal, are really the 2 players rotating back and forth. They're going towards this B side, but once again, it's just John alone towards A, and he gets taken down. He doesn't win that gunfight. Now the bomb's open. There is one player getting aggressive. Brack finds Joe again. It's almost like deja vu with this round. Now 4 versus 4.
And they're still worried about a presence on that side of the map because you see Brack has been lingering for now. Wee Man with the plant does get the lightning strike. Huge kill from Skies. Maybe you force it out of them in this particular round if Wee Man can stay up. Slack goes big, lightning strike in. It connects 2 versus 2. 30 seconds to go in the round. Brack wins another nice one-on-one. It's all gonna fall to Wee Man now to make the clutch. 6 in a row for Wee Man, 7 in a row for Wee Man. Lightning available, but Brack guns him. Brack somehow stays up, and that's a one-on-one that may save this map for LG.
Just one small victory for Units. I mean, he's able to get that Hellstorm, but you use the lightning strike right there. I think you were just trying to secure that round. But Brack has been so good throughout this entire year. Wins the big 1 versus 1, and I mean, it felt like Wee Man had the call out. He was pre-aiming that lobby door.
And if you're Brack winning the gunfights in the flank, and you're gonna find yourselves in those 1v whatever situations, you gotta pull one of those out, and there he's able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, he has this kill cam. They're ready for him. You see Wee Man comes on out. I think he just misses 1 or 2 bullets, and that's the difference.
Brack doesn't miss, Wee Man misses. Yeah, I thought Wee Man was gonna win it after that first gunfight where he smoked one LG player. I thought he had Brack's number, but Brack gets it done and LG get around on the board. But as you mentioned, you do get the Hellstorm onto Wee Man. Formal from top window, Nolson at number 9 on the minimap playing deep at back steps. Can LG get around on offense?
Yeah, Wee Man's just trying to
There goes his head. What a snipe from Nolson.
Able to find that first blood. Now Joe once again inside vents. And now LG's in this situation where there's 40 seconds. Again, you're down a man. What are you going to do?
What's
like
your round
play?
one.
Yeah, what's your play here? You have to try to force a couple of gunfights, but Units is ready for all the movements that LG's thrown at him. Joe's just been so annoying inside vents.
The call's to take it to B.
Well, it looks like they're going to try and push it. You see Slide maybe just trying to jump on up and help his teammate there.
Hellstorm gets 2. Wee Man pushes out to 10 and 2. He's eclipsed double digits in just 5 rounds. 1v5 for John. No hope in the world. He'll win his one-on-one, but it's not going to matter. His time will run out, and Units make sure LG can't get anything going.
Yeah, you just use that Hellstorm. You're able to just secure the round.
What do you change on offense if you're LG? Because it's not look good.
I mean, it just feels like their offenses have relied behind the sniper or Formal. When he gets the first pick, they sort of go. When he loses it, they're just in the middle of the map. They're in vents. They're not sure what's going on. So I just think you have to play a little bit more aggressive. You're relying too much on Formal snipe. I even say, heck, pull out the Maddox, get aggressive with the team.
And the 2 players mid-lab that have been trying to find an opening at lobby, like Unisys has given them nothing. They haven't allowed them
lobby.
To
just take lobby. What's the matter for us? We have a player inside vents. We'll cut off the bomb.
Units has done this slow approach and late plant on A basically every round. So Luminosity opts to call out a bit of a counter here and stack the A site. That's going to force an immediate rotation out of Units. Units already are pushed up to the site. Joe's going to be able to get greedy and get even more room, but he loses his one-on-one. Sky's already set up in the back. Big first blood from Luminosity, but site control currently to Units.
You hear that trophy go down. Sky's now just trying to get any information he can. He's able to spot Cammy. Cammy's able to win 1 against Formal. But here comes the numbers advantage from Luminosity. Slack's able to get that trade, and now when is that push going to come through? And watch number 8. That's going to be rated. He's going to go on a flame, but he has to hurry. He has to help his team. He has to help his team. And Walt, now he's left in a 1v4.
I thought he was going to get there in time. Like right as that arrow for John turned, I thought Rady was going to hit it and he'd be able to make the play. But now he's going to clutch up in this 1 versus 4. 2 players holding the push from top ladder room. And LG get their 2nd round, but Units just looking for that final round to tie us up at 1 apiece. And now LG have got to do what they've struggled so mightily with, to win an offense.
Yeah, what adjustments are you going to make? I mean, they've been trying to attack A. in middle of the map, but we've seen that throughout the year on Arsenal. You can take mid-map away, but what are you gonna do? You still have to pick a bomb site, and that rotation can be so quick from backstairs. Hope to see a little bit more aggression out of them.
Something's got to change. Or maybe it just comes down to Formal winning that snipe fight. But Nolson, I think it's what, 2 for Nolson, 1 for Formal right now. I mean, Formal's 1 and 6, Nolson's 3 and 5, but at least for Nolson, 2 of those kills were first bloods that really helped them within their rounds.
Yeah, well, there's the change. You see the ICR come out for Formal. They immediately go towards this B site. Here comes the aggression. Cammy, though, able to find one. A very fast trade. They know they have a player stuck in that D pocket.
Ready to kill with the grenade. John gets caught out as well. No plant, 4v2. Map 2 looks to be in the bag. Unless Formal and Slack can clutch on up. Formal tagged a low health. The wall bang there from Weeman, who's had himself a map 2, 11 and 3. As the offensive woes plague Luminosity. They can get nothing going. Units push it out. Units tie it up. Series 1-1. And Units, where that was their struggle. Search and destroy, plagued them in crossplay. You see the improvements there. Now we've got ourselves a series.
Yeah, great rebound game. I mean, again, in map number 1, they were just outslayed, just from top to bottom. And Nolson, throughout this map number 2, he only has 3 kills, but 2 of them are on Formal on offense. And you see what happens when he's able to find those kills. So some big impact plays out of Nolson, but Weeman really the star of this map.
And it just felt like the adjustments for LG came too late. They got nothing going on offense. They're only 2 round wins on the defensive end, but we're tied up 1-1. We'll head to another respawn up next. LG handle business in the map 1 hard point. We'll see if they can get it done in the control.
Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL, and Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
First started and I saw the Luminosity roster, I thought to myself that this is the most talented roster on paper that we have in this game. The roster from top to bottom was insane.
They had John, Slacked, Classic, Formal, and Gunless. What? Like, that is 5 of the most talented players in Call of Duty history. This was a star-studded lineup. We knew they were going to be incredible.
LG had 5 incredible players and certainly championship winning team. And we didn't see that straight away in Vegas, but it soon came apparent that these guys were right at the top, if not the best team in the world. But it took a little bit of time and then it all kind of started to go wrong.
A lot of people thought that Luminosity was just a tournament team. They were a team who, when the pressure was on them, they stepped on up, right? So when it comes to the Pro League, it just felt like really there was a lack of effort from those guys. The energy wasn't there.
No one really knows why LG struggled so much in Columbus. It could have been the atmosphere, it could have been a lot of things.
It just didn't seem like they were too worried about Pro League.
So Slack got a lot of hate during the first few weeks of Pro League. I don't think it was justified.
You can't have 5 superstars, but you also can't have one player that's underperforming. And I think there's a fine line between that.
Their team started to unravel. They stopped believing in one another. They stopped believing that they could win. And it was clear at that point that team could no longer work.
Outside of the game, things weren't going well. John was underperforming. Slack wasn't playing well. Classic, for some reason, was just, I'll be honest, horrendous on this team. What happened with Gunless? As far as I know, he just didn't like playing with these guys. I don't know exactly why.
Whatever happened between Luminosity and the behind the scenes, we'll never know. We'll never truly know.
But it just seemed like he had a different philosophy than the other guys.
Gunless never said anything ill amongst his teammates, but he still just wants to win, and they were not doing that, so he had to go his own way.
LG went out on a limb. They didn't go for names. They didn't go for experience. They went for raw talent.
They pick up some young guns. They're able to find Brack and Skies. These are two players who are lighting it up on their teams. Formal, Skies, and Brack have proved that they're all-stars. They can perform against anybody. But we need Slacked or John or both to rise to that next level and become like Priesta, like Hoop, like the Temps of the world. You can't just do your job anymore. It doesn't work like that. You have to be a star.
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Welcome back to the CWL Finals, and well, we thought Game 2 was ended, but it seems we ran into a bit of an issue. So the score is still going to be 5-2 for Units, but they have to close out one more round in order to close out map number 2 and tie the series up. So map number 2 is not finished yet. Not exactly sure what happened, but our refs are working on it with the teams on the stage. We're going to be jumping right back into that game. So just to update you, it is still 1-0. It is not 1-1. We have to replay a round.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was 3-1. And I think we ran into this at the previous event. The round counted twice. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah, John, well, it's funny because when I looked up, I saw 5-1. I was like, well, we got there quickly.
Yeah, no.
I just didn't notice that it triggered twice. So it is going to be 5-2. That happened to the Pro League? I know recently.
No, last event, Anaheim.
Last event?
Or London? It was one of those events.
Yeah. So
but I looked up too. I was like, we're really at 5-1?
No, I thought it, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't say anything. And then I was talking to Slack in the back. He's like, yeah, it's 5-2. I was like, oh, all right. So we'll wait to get loaded back into that and try to close out this map too. Obviously, still a tough spot for LG as they have looked horrific on offense and still have to rip off 4 straight, but not quite done yet. So 1 round needed for Units, 4 needed for LG.
But at least you get another shot, right? Maybe, I mean, 1 round at a time. We know. We've seen a lot of comebacks throughout this year.
Oh, maybe it's a chance for LG to see if they can improve a little bit here and just make some adjustments, try something. They haven't found any success, but they will kick it off on the defensive end. Nolson's so effective with the sniper from the defensive end. What can he do offensively? And Formal yet to really get going, as I think he ended like 1-6, 1-7 after 7 rounds.
This is what Units have been so good at, right? They've been playing so patient, forcing LG to rotate off bomb sites, not allowing Formal to get any picks. Again, before that game ended, Formal was 1-7. Not the best search and destroy from him, but now it's 2-7. He's able to find a snipe, and Nolson, yeah, he gets a hit marker, so the man advantage stays with Luminosity.
And thankfully for Formal, he had some help there in lobby, so you saw the player from Units just trying to peek in lobby and finish him while he was weak, but couldn't quite get there. Brack can't quite close out his one-on-one on the other end of things. They go to grab bomb. Nolson gets caught. John with the kill. Everything going LG's way in this opening round of the replay. 5 up, 5 down. LG get the win, and that'll bring us to 3-5. Favor to Units still. Now it's this offense. They get this offensive round win. Who knows? We might be going the distance.
Can LG make some adjustments? I mean, they've tried slow rounds. Hasn't worked. They tried playing aggressive. The last offense we watched going towards that B side, they've tried taking middle of the map. Nothing has worked for them. Units have been so darn good.
What do you try here? Do you go back to the default or rely on Formal to hit a snipe? He just hit one on defense.
Well, that's what they're going with, right? They're trying to find Formal. I was just saying maybe play a little bit more aggressive towards the A side.
Oh my God, I thought John, as he got the trophy out, was about to get one right between the eyes. But
the rotation's here too. I mean, look at all the purple arrows already here. So they're going to be watching those crosses, and then once again you have Joe inside of vent. So they play behind this information. It's basically a 5 versus 5, and LG somehow has to plant. They do have time if they want to rotate off of this. There is time on the clock, but an 8 through. I think there was a trophy down from Luminosity.
Yeah, you saw John toss it as he almost got sniped.
Just comes down to when they plant. Slacked actually gets pushed up, able to find that first blood.
Weeman, though, comes through as they're going for the plan. That's one you think Formal has to get, but Nolson has the help. Man advantage massively now over to Units. Skies brings a little bit closer, but here comes the flood. That's not an easy gunfight with the ICR. Units, despite the replay, able to close out map 2. So now we are officially
we're back.
Tied up at 1-1.
I mean, for Luminosity, if you want to continue this tournament run, you're going to have to win some search and destroys, and on Arsenal, you're going to have to make some adjustments. Maybe it was just Units. We knew that Units was going to be a good search and destroy team down the line. It feels like they're finally here.
You think if they were working on anything over these past couple weeks, that would have been what they tried to iron out. Elevate a map away from closing out this series and sending Midnight packing, but Midnight up 1-0 in the control, 9-3 advantage here on round 2, a chance to take a big edge here and start to bring back the chance for a reverse sweep.
This is just one of those maps where if you're Elevate, you're up 2-0 in the series, just close out game 3, right? Like, just don't even bring up a reverse sweep. Don't allow it to happen. But Midnight right now, it's a strong start to this control.
Well, it's about time they started with how this series has been going. Obviously, we've only got eyes on the search.
Well, that's always the thing, right? Like, typically Fridays, we start with pool play matches. Heck, even some of the best teams in the world will go down 0-2 in a first series, right? And have to reverse sweep, or even lose that first match, but it's pool play. You have a couple of matches, you can bounce back. That's not the case
well, we
here.
saw, hell, like Optic, Friday versus Units. First match, they go down 0-2, or sorry, Denial, I guess, at the time. They go down 0-2. Zaptius has his grab slam, and right into the point he goes. Rafizi does get an entry, but the battle continues to go down at mid-map. Zaptius' teammates clean it up, and he'll continue to just be on an island at that point. The rest of the players over towards Broke, and that's going to force 2 players from Elevate to wrap over towards A. Can Midnight come out on top here? They do. The 2 players remaining will push up towards B. The 1-on-1 gets one from Zaptius on the other end, which is a huge 1-on-1 for them as Midnight. What a great opening.
And we know the importance of Zaptius winning that 1-on-1 also is to stop the clock, right? We saw that a lot in the Pro League, heck, even at Anaheim. You leave that guy on an island, you put pressure on B, so you have a couple of more chances to get that B zone. We know how tough it is to cap it. So the fact that they're going to have 2.5 minutes after Zaptius is done with it's huge. Plus, you still have Royalty putting pressure on the point.
Exactly, you've made it so you don't have to win that first fight as of now. You've already got broken control. You're already pushed up towards their spawn. These 2 players drop, though, due to Profizi's position. You'll be able to stabilize a bit if you're Elevate, and you'll do just that. So Elevate, you feel all right in the sense that it was a great opening from Midnight. You're about even in the lives department. You've got control at B side of the map. The issue is the amount of time Midnight has. It was, what, 2:20 on the clock or so?
Look at the positioning, though, from Elevate. I mean, Believe and Profizi were so far pushed up. Now starting to wrap on back. It's a 5-man push through the defensive spawn for Midnight. They're able to find a couple, but the reinforcement's going to spawn right by that bus stop, and, well, they immediately turn. And it looks like Elevate should be able to stop this push, and now they have a nice spawn trap set up as Believe just in the spawn.
That was a good job by, it was a good job by what Whalers and Lacefield. The fact that they got 2 kills before they dropped, right? You made the cleanup job pretty easy. And a bit of a live swing is that minimal advantage for Midnight. Now shifts over to Elevate, and they're gonna go for the same type of push through that back courtyard, through ambulance, and try to hit the backside of Semi. They're not going for any kind of split push. They just wanna bully their way through. But if you're gonna do it this way, you've gotta be very, very clean. And they've done just that. 3 are gonna go down. Whaler's still gonna be standing up. The teammates spawning out. Now a chance to really stack this and get back towards the B point if you're Midnight. Believe, though, still at Broken. Could flank. They're aware of that, though, as they got 4. They know there's still 1 player lurking.
They're trying to hunt him down. You see the nade comes in. Believe's able to find 1 kill, but Zaptius is able to get 2 with the grab slam. Whalers, he gets cut down, but you're almost to 2 ticks now. You hear all the specialists starting to load on up in Midnight. This is a chance to win this one 3-0.
If Whalers could hit that second shot.
It looked like it was on.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he had it there, but Frosty punishes him. 3 more go down. The last hope going to be an M. Ruiz. Can't take the second gunfight. Map 3 in the books for Midnight as they extend that best of 5. We'll get right back over to Alpha now as we're tied up 1-1. An impressive search and destroy victory in the books for Units, but Can they do it in a respawn? Because I guess when I looked at this, you think they're going to get one. Like, if this goes the distance, you think they're going to get one.
Well, I mean, it's just what we saw, right? I mean, the only thing we saw them look good in was hardpoint. But, I mean, do you think they're going to get one against Luminosity? That's sort of the tough thing. I mean, they've done the job in the sense they get to go to a game 4. But the problem is that game 4 is frequency hardpoint. We saw how good Luminosity's been on that, right? That was their best map throughout the entire week.
So is this control kind of everything for you?
I think it is. I think control is it, because based off what we saw on map number 1, I don't think they can win frequency hardpoint against Luminosity.
All right, well, I want to take a look at a key player matchup here. It's going to be Nolson versus Skies. And you take a look, you said Eunice was kind of the only standout statistically, but look at the difference. And this is your cross-division stats. Like, Skies and Brack put up numbers that were just absurd. And that's why you think it's so hard for them to come in and get a respawn. I thought they might surprise them in 1, but the one I thought they might do was map 1, where you had a chance, because it's just difficult. Like, it's hard to consistently get wins when you're getting smoked in the slaying column. And if there's anyone that's done it, yes, it's been Rated and Joe teams. You saw all of last year with Red Reserve. Like, I remember talking to JP about their stat was absurd in those situations compared to, like, I guess the mean. Everybody else, they were wild, but it's hard to consistently do that.
Well, you see how hard it is to consistently do that because they haven't had the best year, right? Like, that's, I mean, even when they had Scraps and Zero and Vance, they struggled even still with the slaying department. That forces them in this situation where they have to pick up 3 young guns.
Map 3, series tied 1-1. Joe's POV to start us off. Grapple in, will get shut down. Good opening on the defensive end from Formal and Luminosity as they'll get 3 kills, 4 kills, and the one remaining player ends up dropping at the, or sorry, backing up for the reinforcements. He'll actually get caught in the wee man. So not the opening you want if you're Units.
Not at all. A great start for Formal though, 3-0 from him. Now you have all this map position. What are you going to do if you're Units? It looks like they're going to try and put some pressure on that A site. You have a couple of players here that's going to force a rotation, but you still have John being so annoying, just staggering those pushes.
You got to think the great thing for Luminosity, the fact that you're going to be the team that gets 3 defenses on a map like Seaside. We've seen some brilliant offensive performances, but it is not easy. And, well, recently, if you saw it, I know it was in Money 10s, but what Formal and Looney pulled off the 2 versus 15 on this map. Don't expect that to happen at a major like Miami, but still was kind of wild to see the other day.
Formal now working on some streaks, just trying to put a bullet in someone. It's 50 points off, trying to win 1 more gunfight or help a teammate do so.
And you got to think he's frustrated after that map too, right? He did not have a strong map. I think 2-8, 2-9 overall. Lightning strike in. He will get caught though as Rated and Olsen push it out. The second tick will come through on B.
Well, do you use it right away, or are you going to hang on to it? Because you can use it right now to retake the site if they want to. We know that streaks are better on offense than defense. We've seen that throughout the year. So he's not going to use it just yet.
They're going to hold their 3 life advantage. Think they can hold this for 90 seconds or at least trade effectively. Brack with the opener, but does get traded out. Formal, good job back and down with 20 HP, but now comes the push. Now he might be in trouble. Big one-on-one win, able to stay up. The reinforcements come in. Fantastic job there from Formal and Slack, but Formal twice. I mean, the fact he back downs with 20 HP, wins that massive one-on-one, I thought that could be the break. And if you get that first step down, if you get through the steps there cleanly, that spells trauma for Luminosity, but now Rated, tucked away in the pocket. That top window comes through with 2 big kills. A chance now for Units to apply pressure. 4 will drop. Units will get into the site. Can they be clean from here? They've done the first step. They've gotten into the point. Still work to do, though. 10 versus 10 in the lives department.
Yeah, and they only had 4 players. The last player was Rated. He just comes up off spawn. He's here now, but his teammates are dead, so he just trying to play for kills now. I mean, 7 versus 8 with a minute left. You can only play around those kills. You don't have to worry about the point, but the 1 versus 1 up top is going to go the way of Formal.
Like the fact you didn't get progress doesn't really matter in this scenario based on the time and the lives. They're going to win it. It's going to be through the kills. Trophy thrown in a pretty easy position, but as they pick it, Skies picks them. As long as LG can go 1 for 1, they're in a good spot. This is going to be the final wave. No respawns remaining for Units. Joe, Cammy, Nolson Rated. Got to clutch up. Nolson ripped off the map. Cammy trying to make some noise from the front push. Nice timing there from Formal as he comes out of the back building. 1 player left for Units. It's all on Cammy. It's 6 and 5 to get it done. Going for the clutch. 1 by 1 they drop, but slacked. able to get the final kill, and LG take the round 1 defense. Seaside control.
Yeah, just a nice start from LG. I mean, right away they get 5 kills. They're able to put so much pressure, allows Formal to earn some streaks. It does get scary at one point when units are able to find 4 kills in a row, but it's just so tough to capture that point, right? To watch all 3 doorways when LG is just flying back in.
Yeah, you had 2 chances, really.
Yep.
You got the break into tank. You had the opportunity where Slack had a big rotation over, Formal got 2 kills, but they got the break there at the top steps. You might get a tick or 2 off of that, get a big life advantage, but Formal and Slack able to clutch up. But yeah, I think that felt almost like the hard point, right? Like there were just a couple moments where units had a chance.
Couple moments, yeah. Had a couple of opportunities. I think Joe went outside the map and had a nice grapple. That's when they were transitioning from B to A, when it got a little bit scary.
And this is that round where, like, if you're LG, you win this, you more than likely take the map. You've got to step up big here if you're units. Formal keeps his streak going. He's 12-4. I think he's been liking the War Machine in his hand.
It's actually been interesting. Him and Sky's running double ICRs. We saw really Formal with an ICR throughout this entire map, sometimes Sky with a Matic. So they're still trying to figure out what each player likes to use on this map.
That grapple ends up being huge. Just what Slack gets out of harm's way, his teammate been able to pick up the player, applying pressure towards the spawn of LG. Now Formal has got a chance to maybe wrap up his streaks here. He still has the lightning to use. He's 225 off more, and he's going to go ahead and use it. Just make sure they get the point. Try to get more streaks off the back of it. With the objective time and the kills, it looks like he's going to do just that. Gets a shot in. Can Slack finish it for the streaks? He'll just get it from the objective. So another lightning up for Formal. He's 17-4 on a 7 streak. The Hellstorm comes in as well. We're seeing the final form of Formal right now.
Yeah,
he's
version
dominating.
15, right? He finally put that V15. He's all the way up, 9 in a row, 19-4 from Formal.
Wins another big one. The pressure here. Finally going to get caught as 3 players coming off a spawn. They're only up 2 lives. They've got 90 seconds to work with.
I mean, yeah, Formal at 20-5, but everybody else is negative.
Yeah, right. Can they use these 2 streaks to maybe get in? There was an awkward kind of moment in timing between Joe and John. Joe got through that kind of catwalk outskirts area near our first hard point, and he'll be able to re-wrap and flank. So John's going to get caught, likely frustrated with that death. But the progress on A has started. First bit is in. War Machine out from Formal, keeping them at bay off a respawn. He's going to get caught, though, as he tries to catch the edge. You still have LG members here. It's wild and frantic inside of the zone, but it seems maybe Units has regained for now, as LG will try to set up this next push with a 2-life advantage.
Formal's actually going to use a Hellstorm here, maybe try to wrap it in the backside of the tank. He's able to find 1, so maybe that'll open things up. You have all 5 players here. The spawn's already there, but here comes Slack, not able to win that first one. But Formal and Sky is able to get 3, so now you have that advantage, and now Unit's going to have to get right back into this site.
Wherever that stun came from was a massive one, because Formal was dead to rights, I think, at that range with the ICR, but the stun bails him out. 3 kills in the kill feed for Units, though, but only 6 lives remaining. Somehow, I thought Slack was going to stay up, but the fact he even gets 1 kill before he drops, a thing of beauty. Now if you're LG, can you close this out 8v6? But not going to be easy considering you're on offense.
Yeah, he still has some TAC 5s in from Units. Joe's able to win 1, and now this just sort of slows things down once again. And you spawn so far out on that attacking side. Slacked and Brack trying to work the flank, but Units, they're just staying inside this church area, forcing them in, and all the gunfights are going the way of Units. It was a 9 versus 6, and now it comes down to a 5 versus 5.
15 seconds. Time dwindling. Bragg's going to force him in. 1 player sitting in that right corner is going to get a gimme. 3 kills, though, through for LG. They got a chance to do it. 1 player left. The War Machine, not a direct hit. And Wee Man left alone. The point is captured. LG up 2-0 with a massive clutch at the closure of round 2. That was a big one. Getting that first offensive win on a map like Seaside.
And it's similar to what we saw Units, they were in the position to do on their offense, right? It comes down to about a 8 versus 6, but LG win the gunfights. And everything looked great for Units, right? They were down in lives, but they stayed alive. They staggered the push for LG. And then as soon as there's a 2-piece that comes on through, it always changes the game, and that's what happens from Units.
Well, especially it was a 4v5, I think, with that push, because it was a little bit staggered from LG. Then 1 player spawned all the way out. but somehow they clutch up, get the break to tank. Formal still triple positive at 24 and 8. It was a brilliant opening defense from Luminosity the first time through. Formal's going to go ahead and use the lightning right away. It ends up bailing them out. They had 2 down, so that streak ends up being crucial. And at least holding that first wave, that first push from units. Slacks worked himself up to a 4 streak. Brack trying to be annoying as all hell with a flank through to the rooftop side of the map. He's able to do just that. First player gun, second player drops to the cluster, and Brack will stay in an aggressive position on the unit side.
I mean, now you're already 40 seconds in, you have to go towards this A site. They are able to find Slack, there's 3 players there. But they're trying to catch LG on the rotation. You see Cammy? Him and Joe just working this staircase area. But LG, it looks like they slow them down a little bit. But I guess for units, you're able to get them off that B side. You're able to get them off your base.
Now they're going to have to work on the retake. Over towards B. No progression in yet. Maybe attempt for a slam. Not going to go for it quite yet. Slack can't finish the kill, but his teammates will get 2. Live square at 20 versus 20. You still have that number 9. And Brack waiting inside the steps for the reinforcements to come in. Nice patience there, but he's going to get gunned by Joe. 3 for 2. Favor to units. Another bit of progress in. They line up for a second for Skies, but he can't cut down both. That should be the B point, basically square in the lives department, and now you have a lot of specialists. You have the Grav Slam and the
Both
Tempest
sides,
on the
yeah.
side of units. The Grav Slam, the TAC 5, and nearly the Tempest for LG, so a minor edge there for LG.
Yeah, TAC 5 comes in, units used that last round. This round it comes in for Luminosity. At least help them win that initial push. Joe just trying to get inside, spot anything he can. Does see Brack, so knows he can't go that way. Instead, it's up front, but with Brack up top, he actually flies out. He's able to win 1. John behind that, but Joe able to recenter. Snaps to get the second.
Nice play from Joe, but is it enough to get them in? 2 teammates spawning out, the 2 and 4 on the map, trying to trek it across the map with the 3 remaining players. Try to wait patiently, they stack up, a team kill comes in. Slack closes out the next. Still a 1 life advantage for units. Can Joe hit a massive Grav Slam here? A must-win round, and what feels like a must-win map right now for units.
Rated opens things up with a frag. This should give them on the point. Oh, grab from Slack, able to find 1.
He was dead to rights if he doesn't get that through. Joe had him lined up. Brack follows it up. Tempest now out from Skies. They know they have a 2-on-1 at barrels. He's able to hit the shot right before he drops. Cammy, I thought it connected, but Cammy got a kill right after that as well.
Yeah, somehow Cammy gets 2, and Joe just flies right on back through using that grapple. Now he has the grab, able to find 1. I think he got Skies all the way towards that back right side.
6v5, still that 1 life advantage for units. 30 seconds remaining on the clock, but it's stopped for now as they have a player inside the point. They've got 1 bit of progress, still 2 to go. 5 versus 5, it's John coming through on the flank, but it's not gonna be needed as Brack gets 2 inside. 4v3 to LG. They're isolated, they're split, but they're able to get the kills. 3v2 now, how does that happen? Advantage for Luminosity disappears. Now it's on Skies and Brack to clutch up.
Brack uses the pulse as well. He calls it in. They want to try to win this.
The Young Guns, it's the Young Guns that have got to get it gun. It's all gonna be on Skies, he's gonna get gun. Wee Man takes it, offensive win to units. And suddenly we have ourselves a map. You got to close it out there if you're LG.
I mean, what it was, a 3 versus 5 or 3 versus 4?
Yeah, it was 4v3. And as you're looking at the minimap, it looks really split for units. Like, you're not going to be able to take any kind of 2-on-1, but they both win 1-on-1s. That just can't happen from LG. That's going to be a round that plagues them.
And now you have one of your base specialists in the Vision Pulse gone, and you don't know if you're going to get that one back either. They try to put the game away. Maybe just some miscommunication from Luminosity.
What a performance from units to stay alive in this game 3. Now you got Vision Pulse and Tempest rearing and ready to go. John with 2 big entries for his team to get set up. 3 are going to drop almost instantly for units. They're going to have to back it up. Nolson, though, with a nice cluster to at least shut down the streaking John. Looks like a frag grenade going to be coming in behind that as well. Splits 3 players, but doesn't connect. The Sogs making the plays early for Luminosity.
Slacked and John continuing. You hear Wee-Man, he's gonna use the Tempest, able to connect with 2. That's Bracken Formal. You have Joe on the flank, trying to find the second, but Slacked is still alive. You do have a player down. He does get back up, but Slacked and John did such a good job for a while, but Unit's able to maintain control. Behind a Specialist though, so you don't have that Tempest anymore. Nolson getting close to War Machine. Cammy, another TAC 5 and rated with that big Vision Pulse if they need it.
Formal gets the first blood on the next push. There's a stack from LG, but it ends up paying off as they go 1 for 1. Rated and Cammy, though, trying to clutch up and hold. 3 versus 2 for LG on the point for a moment, but now the reinforcements here from Units. They've got the numbers to hold this for now. 35 seconds remaining on the clock. Luminosity desperately trying to close out this point. Slacked and Skies combo for 2. Nolson gonna back it up for now. And that's going to be the point to LG, the 60-second extension, now 90 seconds to go with a 2-life advantage as the pressure builds towards Church. And the Vision Pulse out from Rated instantly.
Yeah, he wants to stop that first push, right? Doesn't want them to get any control, waste some time off the clock as well. Plus, you can get map control. Look at where Joe is on the map right now, getting all the information in the world. And behind the Vision Pulse, they're able to find most of the kills. Slacked has done such a good job this round, almost snaps onto the 3rd as well, not able to do so. Now just a minute left, 14 versus 14.
And really, you're gonna have Nolson's War Machine. That's gonna get used instantly. Trophy, I thought was there, but the shots go over the top. Trophy doesn't pick it up, so he's actually able to kill 2 in Formal and Skies. Didn't the first grenade get eaten up by the Trophy?
I'm pretty sure it did, yeah.
And then the others were like, screw it?
I don't know where it was. It looked like it was on his screen, but all right.
Cammy very close to that TAC 5 as well, but the life edge building now for Units. Nice shots over the top from Cammy. Trades all around, but the trade war favors Units with the advantage and the time remaining on the clock. This is likely going to be the last big push from LG. Slack hop right back up, and Joe's just going to get the hell out of there as he's spamming his heal to get back to full health. This is the push. Well, we see the round 5. Formal with the first pick. Formal coming through on the flank. Wins another big one-on-one. LG's now in. 3 have dropped for Units. 4 have dropped for Units. There's a team kill in for LG, but is that going to be enough as they try to stack the site? That's one less player that they can get in. War Machine now out. That should keep them at bay for at least just a moment. 1 kill through for Formal. The second bit of progress getting there. Units scrambling to try and get back into the point. It's desperation time now. 5v3 for LG. Cammy gets smoked. There's the point. LG clutch up on offense. Take both respawns. They're up 2-1, heading to a frequency hardpoint.
Both are offensive wins as well. Comes down to those sort of 6v5 situations. Units, we talked about it in the hardpoint. They have a couple opportunities to close that out. They do the hardpoint and they win a tough offense.
No, that is not usually how CC goes. We saw 3 offensive victories and 1 defense. That is pretty unique for that type of map. Yeah, we've seen it, but more often than not like that. As soon as Units won that offense, I thought we were going round 5. I was like, oh, this is a round 5 game.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want for Units, right? You have a 2-life advantage. You wasted so much time behind the Vision Pulse. You did the hard part. It seemed like to get, LG into a very tough situation. Well, LG just fly in, and behind this is where they're able to keep,
and I was worried,
players alive.
I was worried that LG could crumble after that round 3. Like, that one hurt. It had to. You went for the jugular, you missed. But the fact that they're able to rebound and win an offense, does that tell you a little bit maybe about this team?
Well, it shows that I think they have the individual talent, right, to clutch these rounds out.
Formal had himself a game.
Yeah, 37-7. V15. That's what he was talking about. V15.
Whew. And like I know he's in a position where he can drop big stats, but I think what stood out for me is when they needed big breaks, how many times did I say, like, he got that first pick? Like, it'd be a 5-on-5 type push where they're trying to get towards the site. He gets that first kill. That starts the first domino, and then they'd be able to make a play behind that. So, yes, he drops the big numbers, but time and time again, man, when he needed to pick up a big one, he did it.
Yeah, and I think you saw really the inexperience come out for Units, right, as a team, because, I mean, when it comes down to those situations where you have to get back onto the point if you're a defensive team, it takes a lot of teamwork and a lot of coordination, right? You have to wait for another. I know the War Machine slows things down, but there wasn't really a point where LG was close to capping that point. It wasn't time for desperation where you can just fly, you have to fly. That didn't happen. They had time to regroup and really just fight their way on through. That we saw LG was able to do a couple of times, but that just, it didn't.
Well, I thought the team kill was what,
I thought
might
so
cost
too.
LG because it's a big deal in that scenario because you can't apply the same objective pressure, right? Like you just can't ramp it up. You can't 3-stack it. You can't 4-stack it. You can't do the same thing. So they end up having to fan out a little bit. And yes, you give a chance to units because of that, but the War Machine splits them. The fact that he gets 1 kill is huge. I don't know if it was a direct hit or no flak jacket. But now this is why we said that Seaside was so huge, because we go to frequency hardpoint. It's been Luminosity's playground. They have been so good there. How does Units pull this out and get us to a 5th map?
I mean, this is what we saw LG play the most of. I think they went 3-1 on the week, right, when we saw them play it throughout cross-divisional play. On the flip side, this was Units' most played map. Like, this is where they were solid throughout the week. I just think it's, from what we've seen throughout this series, just feels like the slaying is so lopsided. On a map like frequency, you cannot get outslayed by 20 or 30 kills. So you need the slaying power to step up from Units. And I know, based off what we've seen, there's not a ton of it. So maybe another big performance out of a man like Weeman.
Well, Units, Miami Live's on the line now. They've got to get this map victory and push it to a map 5 to have any chance of it. Opening fight seems to go to Luminosity. It'll be 5 down for Units. They'll get set up. The only silver lining for Units, they will control that orange base, that right side of the map, which will be our next hard point. But can they control it, and can they contest this opening hard point? Oh, you don't want to see 40, 50 points put on the board from LG in the opening moments, and that's 3 kills from Units. A spectacular break on through. That's splendid. That's beautiful stuff from Units as they get the all clear.
Well, John almost makes the play and finds 2 kills, but he might have bought enough time. There's 3 dead right now, but Cammy and Weeman able to find the last couple. Slatsy's gonna push on up, so it's just Cammy on the point.
But still, this looked like the type of opening where you might have saw like a 40-0 scoreline. Units did an excellent job, and they retained that right side of the map. So considering the opening break from LG, that's a win from Units.
Now can they hold? That was really the story on Seaside when they were rotating to these hard points. The Luminosity just broken way too easily. Joe, he's gonna find the opener. What can they get behind it? It's rated and the trades continue, but it looks like right now, Units do a good job holding the first push from Luminosity.
And you're spawning out pretty deep, but you're spawning at the opposite base lobby. If you're Luminosity, just kind of hightailing it over mid-map. Now you get a split spawn, kind of at pipes and elevator. Like, they have not gotten like that close spawn, right? At elbow where you can just continue to flood. They've been spawning out pretty deep, just trying to get in, but Units such a splendid job holding on so far. You had a moment of contest, but that was it. If you're LG, you got to give this up. You just got dominated at Orange.
I mean, there was a couple of chances where Slacked, I think, found 2 or 3 kills, but like you said, because they were spawning out so far, those kills really don't turn into anything. Units are able to just reinforce. They get back in the side. On the rotation, though, Skies and John able to find 3 kills. There's 1 player left. That's going to be Cammy. He's contesting on this balcony, but here comes the push for Luminosity. Nice teamwork out of them. Plus, you have Formal inside of Elevator, but he gets taken down, and now you have a chance to break if you're Units. There's just 2 players left. They have to go now.
They get the spawn in the back. They get the spawn in the back. The pipe spawn comes in for LG. They know something is afoot. They're able to rally back and get 3 down. They'll survive for now, but they're not getting any time. There was still a Units player in the hard point. But with 30 seconds remaining, a chance to get set up if you're LG and bring this right back.
That was just one of those opportunities, right? When you get 2-3 dead, you have back control, you have elevator control, you basically isolate the 2 players on the hill. You have to go faster, you have to go quicker, because instead of a tie game going into pipes, this is a 60-70 point lead for Units going towards pipes. Instead, they allow LG to take the lead.
Now to the pipes fight. Numbers to Units, at least for a moment. Formal trying to bring it even, but can't quite finish the kill. It's gonna have to back down for now. So Units will be in first, all but a tie game. Trophy out for Weeman and the Units crew. Nice shots from Weeman over the pipes to pick him up. He's now just 80 off of streaks. The problem for him, I thought he had 9 bullets to use. I think 17 left. Can Weeman get those streaks? He's on a 4 streak. Back down yet again. Wee-Man's gonna get caught. No streaks for the unit side. LG gonna burst on through, but Cammy with that pair keeps units in the hard point for now. With 20 seconds remaining, they'll be up, what, 40 or so points. The unit's playing them very tough early. It seems like it's the Luminosity side that seems to be scrambling, but Slack comes through with, what, 4 kills. I think 1 was a team kill, but still a great use of the slam to get in and set up an elevator. Now can they hold this time, unlike last where units broke in easily?
And I'll tell you what, Slack has had a hell of a series so far. We saw in that first hardpoint he was taking over. Right now, double positive, 16 and 8 with some big plays in the hills. As Sky's just laying prone, we've seen that more and more. Really, we see that a lot from like Elevate, from the Profizi, right? Just trying to get them to look a different way. But Unit's able to find a couple of kills, so you have the contest here. Slack trying to stay alive, just sliding back and forth. He's gonna have some help, and well, Slack and Brack, they're gonna find a couple of kills. Plus now you have orange side control. That's something they weren't able to do. Tac 5 in.
The complete opposite, really, of what we saw through our first set of rotations on this opening hard point. Just need to hold and not allowed to get flipped if you're Luminosity. Only down 10 with some final points to try and hold on to here. I like that. Slack's just gonna back it up. Let's get set up for orange. Don't throw any more lives away with a potential bad timing, but Luminosity fighting to close out this first best of 5. It's do or die time for units. I want to get to an Astro Gaming listen-in with LG.
They're stunned, JB.
We're missing one too.
It's not dead.
I got a lightning. Bottom right, two. Fuck, dude, I couldn't.
We got streaks.
Spawn
out. You guys just hide, just hide.
Use it. I spawned the back.
I'm hitting out. Many
got you. I don't see anything back for hill.
Window rated.
Pipes.
Nice.
Metal.
Top window.
I got 10 cities back for hill.
Plenty.
100%.
I have a lightning still.
I still spawned out, guys.
What can we pipe to middle or some shit? What did you stay alive, John?
They're getting close to streaks. They're getting close to streaks, so.
You got me.
In the back on me. No,
left side hill, Cammy, one try left side hill.
Wee-Man's one shot hit.
I spawn pipes. I'm in the back.
I spawn pipes.
You guys gotta play the back heavy. Play the back heavy, okay?
Yeah, one back there.
One down still.
Nice one.
They still have 10% hold. Could be in you.
It was Nelson who killed me.
Hey, right in you.
Hitting you.
Yeah, he got me.
No, in you. Hold my cam.
Spawner.
Okay, listen. They're getting close to streaks. They're gonna have streaks.
Contest hill or streak plat.
Streaks.
They dropped the lightning. I'm dropping mine.
Okay.
Listen, they're all over plat. 4 plat, 1 mid.
On you.
Units once again just dominate the orange side of the map. But a streak comes in for Slack. John earned the lightning on the other end of things. A chance for Luminosity to once again answer it blue.
Yeah, I mean, they did great at orange, but this is where LG on that first rotation was able to answer back, and it looks like they're going to do it right now. I mean, that's why this is a tie game right now. Both teams taking care of business. They're not allowing a break to come through. Can LG hold on? A couple of kills as Nolson's able to find 2, 3 go down. Brack, the last player in the hill right now. He does have some backup, but Wee-Man's here with that ICR.
A good job from units to at least contest some time. Maybe a 10, 20 point difference as they contest for what, about 10 or so seconds. So nice little swing there for them to make sure it's not a tie game, at least for LG. Down 12 though is Luminosity. Early pipes control yet again for units. Slack with the entry, John follows it up. 2 are gonna drop for units. Where does the spawn come in? Comes in all the way at like bottom balcony on orange side, so they've got to rally back, but it's not a quick rotation. LG are gonna get in. A beautiful break, and that's set up by John and Slack getting the entries.
And this is something that we haven't seen really throughout this map, is holding hills back to back, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Just Joe's gonna use the lightning. Can units break behind this? Sky's able to lock down one area pipes, formal. Him and Brack able to do on the other side. So LG able to hold behind the lightning.
Yeah, and it's just 2 fantastic plays from Skies and Formal to keep either side of pipe control. Potential lead change now coming in the next couple of moments as LG are looking to close out this series. Slack hunting. Is he aware there's one behind him? Nice little slide, hip fire in the heel, almost enough to pick up another kill, but not quite able to do it. Wee-Man with 3 inside of next. A huge one there, is that'll keep Luminosity spawning it all to allow units to get set up early. How much time can units get in the opening of elevator?
Brack was able to earn a lightning as well. But Slatty's gonna get in, but loses the one-on-one. They're able to hold behind Nolson and his War Machine, so 4 go down, and now Brack just trying to stay alive. He's inside orange by himself. 45 off a Hellstorm. See if he's able to get that, but the rest of his team, they're going to fly on through, trying to break this elevator setup. Weeman just going back and forth, but it looks like LG able to break.
Formal hits the slide, stays up in the hard point. John spawns out Pipe, so we got him highlighted on the minimap. John's going to try and make the play for spawns to the backside of Orange. Has a chance to do it with a one-on-one. Has a chance to do it, but Cammy shuts it down.
If he's able to win that, they might even streak behind it, right? They know those players are going to spawn at low pipes. They can push on through. Still, they're in a very good position. They're going to use the lightning strike now. You see the players all the way in the back. They're just going to ignore them. Slack's just going to go. Almost able to win the second. I think his bullets go through the wall, so it's a little bit less damage, but 3 down right now for Units and LG inside the hill.
Yeah, you've gotten the disruption you needed if you're LG. You broke the back line, you got the hard point, you're accruing the time. Slack now making the push around the back, can't quite finish Rated. Ring around the Rosie we go. Rated with the slide out and challenge. Rated able to win it as Slack's gonna get gunned. 3 now drop for LG, 220 to 190 the scoreline. Just 30 points needed for Luminosity, and Units tournament hopes are over.
Such a big life, though, from Rated. He's able to win that one-on-one.
And he was, what, 10 HP?
Plus, he weakens the hold towards the front, so that allows his team to push on through. These 18 seconds, though, were big for Luminosity. Plus, you can see they have what they want. You see on the left side of your minimap, you have 1 and 2 already rotated. Formal on the hill right now, trying to put the game away. 3 go down. War Machine out. Is he able to find 4 and 5? Not able to do so.
Almost just smokes the entire Unit side, but you have blue side control. This is where LG have dominated the game. They finally are able to step it up at Orange, and that might just be the difference. 5 points needed. Purifier out mid-map. That should be it. LG, hold on. Units are done. LG, stay alive in the gauntlet.
A very back and forth map number 4. It just felt like neither team could really get 2 holds in a row.
Yes, Orange dominated by Units, Blue dominated by LG, but finally LG behind the streak. Yep. They're able to get pressure to Orange, and they just dominated from there. Formal goes on a tear, LG get it done. But yeah, what a back and forth battle that was.
I think there's that play right there, and then the play behind the streak at Pipes. Joe calls in the lightning that he's able to earn, and Formal and Skies both able to hold on to the Pipe side that they were controlling. If Units is able to break there, that could be the 40-point difference in that swing. Maybe you don't get those streaks on the side of Luminosity, but LG, they survive. Your pick's still in.
Dude, I was worried I'd be done in the first hour, but LG are still up. They'll move on to the play-in bracket, but for now, we'll get it back to the desk. Katie, take it away.
Thank you, gentlemen. And there we go, LG getting their first win to survive here, as they said it, in that play-in bracket. But the day is done very, very early for Units. And off the back of some great performances, study out of the likes of Formal.
Yeah, Formal had an unbelievable third map. He went 40 and 17. And after the performance he put on that second map, he was definitely angry. I'm pretty sure he ended that map like 2 and 9. But overall, Slack had an unbelievable performance in those respawns. Him matching up against Nolson and against Cammy, it was really hard for them to match up against that guy. Slack was just able to play his life so well in certain situations. John was able to help as well. And the new guys, Brack and Skies, they were doing what they needed to do.
All right, let's move over.